What's up guys, Xelgodis here, bringing you another Pokemon Live narration. I know it's been a while, but I've been having some technical difficulties, what I've been using to record and edit, and it's been a mess. The live narrations are actually the only thing that are getting hit from it, but it's not really a problem. We're just gonna go play a little bit of OU, because I'm sure most of you know by now that I love this team. I actually just played a little bit with my Hail team not too long ago. It was sort of an accident, actually. And it was a pretty good battle. Unfortunately, I was playing against someone who was a total idiot. A jerk, I should say. And absolutely ruined the entire funnity of the game for me. Which, I'm sure it's happened to all of us before. Anyway, back to the actual game. I led off with my Genesect, he led off with his. We double switched. I went into Polytoad, he went into Rotom. Obvious. Volt switch is obvious. I protected. He Hydro Pump next turn. I'm gonna now go into Rotom, predicting his hard switch. Although no, he just Volt switches. I knew he would go for the Hydro Pump after I showed the protect. Just kind of the obvious play. I don't know why he went off into Scizor. Do I go to Will-O-Wisp for Hydro Pump? Honestly, Hydro Pump would be the better play here. And wow! Okay. I didn't really think it would live that, but, you know, I guess it's to be expected. He's a bulky mother trucker. Mamoswine, ooh. He's got the +1 attack raise, which worries me a little bit. Let's just go into Polytoad, see what he locks himself into. So I'll just protect. And then, I already played these mind games once with him. I'm just going to go up into Mamoswine. I'm not expecting him to go off into Rotom just yet. Although now I can go right off into my Breloom, who can counter this Rotom very nicely. And yeah, set up a substitute. This is a bulky Rotom, which means he really can't touch me very much. Might as well just go for a Spore. He'll outspeed me most likely, and Volt Switch into somebody, or he'll Hydro Pump. I'm not sure how much that would have done. I do resist it, and I believe I have 200 investment in HP, I want to say. Although it does break my sub, so it would have done, I want to say maybe 60%, so maybe substitute wasn't the right choice. However, that worked out fine for me in that situation. And let's see what he's going to go into. More than likely his Scizor to try and scare me out. Or his Landorus, which, yes, that was a pretty good play. Landorus only shuts me down, however, if I'm not behind a sub. Which, I mean, hey, that's really awesome. It's most likely going to U-turn out or substitute. That's interesting. Maybe sub Rock Polish. I don't really see too many Landorus carrying anything other than Scarf or a bulky set like I've ran before with Stealth Rocks and U-turn. This whole shebang. I really don't want him setting up a substitute, so I'm just going to Scald while he predicts my protect. Hopefully he does that. No, he does not. That's fine, because I can simply go off into Tornadus and go for Hidden Power Ice. I'm not quite sure that a Hurricane will kill, so let's just go on the safe side. Go for Hidden Power Ice. Brings his Scizor in, it will just die, and he leaves his Landorus and his Death Fodder, which honestly is not a good idea. Looking like it may cost him the game, depending on how well I can handle that Genesect, because that is a huge threat in and of its own. Now what does he want to go into? That's the question. I'm thinking maybe Scizor to get off some last-ditch damage with Mach Punch. The thing is, it'll do, I think, 80% max for Tornadus, so what I can do is I can try and tank the hit, U-turn out, kill it, go off into Genesect, and then, well, all that is null because he went off into Dragonite. Just Hidden Power Ice it. Now, he will live because of multi-scale, however, +1 Genesect, +1 Dragonite is faster than Genesect, and it looks like he predicted my Genesect to come in, which, not exactly a smart play. He might switch out into Genesect to save his Dragonite, which my Hurricane should be able to kill the Dragonite from this range of HP anyway. And he just forfeits. Well, apparently my ranking is ridiculously high right now, 1836. For whatever reason, I keep getting massive amounts of points every time I win a battle. I haven't played in a few days, and maybe that's why, but I mean, it's just a little weird. I don't really feel like I deserve all these points. The ladder's most likely broken again, which happens often. Electric Ghost will resist the U-turn. However, I'm still going to go for it. The momentum is nice. He might even go for Hidden Power Fire. Scarf. Okay, so this Rotom is definitely Scarf. We go in for the Shadow Ball. So I can just go into my Politoed, who is, even though he's physically defensive, this Rotom probably won't do too much damage, and he does have the Celebi, so I'm going to predict the switch into that, go right off into my... with Swampert. That's interesting. I suppose that works. Well, in any case, let's just U-turn out, go right back into Politoed, because, I mean, what can Swampert really do to a defensive Politoed? Go for the Toxic. He looks to be defensive, and he goes into Celebi now, which, I mean, hey. I love it when people do that to me, just completely destroy my perception of what's right and wrong. And usually it gives him the upper hand, so kudos to him. He went for Psychic. Psychic move, Grass move. Genesect can take both of those. So, oh my goodness. Again, if he's predicting all this, then good on him, but throwing me through a loop, that's for sure. Let's just U-turn out with Heatran, off the Heatran. The fire move is very obvious. Let's just go into Rotom. This will give me more momentum in the long run, I would say. And he does go for Toxic, which, on this Rotom, it's pretty not great, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I can just go for Hydro Pump. He's going to do a little Protect Stalling, which sends me into a bit of rage every time. However, I do it to everyone else anyway, so it's not a big deal. I'm just going to keep going for Hydro Pumps, because even if he brings his Celebi in, it's probably not going to do too much. I mean, it's going to do a decent chunk, I should say. And he can't do a whole lot back in return. So, let's see. Hydro Pump will do 38%. It's a respectable amount. It'll make him definitely want to go more for a recovery move than an offensive move. And he's... okay, he's definitely an offensive set with leftovers, obviously. And I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. Let's just go into... well, I believe that his Heatran is simply a defensive set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right out into my Genesect. Special attack raise isn't necessary, because I'm just going to go for the U-turn. He'll bring out his Heatran, I'll go into Mamoswine, Earthquake, or I can double switch again right back out into my Genesect and start thundering. Depends on how risky I want to play, I guess you could say. He might thinking it outspeed me, but he really can't, and I'm hoping he realizes that and switches out into his Skarmory. Let's see. And he does just that. Excellent. I do get the attack raise, which is a little unfortunate, but I'm just going to go for a Thunder. Maybe he'll just try and get up some spikes or something. Or he'll switch out. He goes into Swampert. All this predicting, it doesn't do me any good if it's not working. But I will go off into Berlin, get my Toxic Orb set up. He goes for Roar, which is a bit unfortunate. He might predict my switch and go for another Roar. I'm just going to Earthquake, get some great damage off in this Swampert. It's really messing up on my plans, so it's good to get some damage off. Go out into Breloom. He doesn't know I have the Toxic Orb yet, so he might think I'm one of those speedier ones. So I'm just going to go for a Substitute. Hopefully he switches out. No, he goes for the Roar! Why would you do that? Maybe he thought I was going to set up. Either way, This thing is a major pain in the butt, and I'm getting thrashed right now. This for Earthquake on the Polytoad, which isn't going to do much. Really, just the Heat Train and the Tracheon is what's keeping me from bringing out my Tornadus and just spamming Hurricanes. As soon as I can get them out of the way, it'll be a lot easier. I'm having troubles doing that. Switch out into Breloom as he goes into his Celebi, which this isn't a good switch for me at all. The switch to Genesect is very obvious. However, he really can't touch me. And, okay, apparently he can touch me. Oh, shoot! Oh, that was a total misclick. I meant to go into Tornadus, but obviously that's not going to happen, and that might have just lost me the game. Because, yeah, I was not going to take that Leaf Storm very well. I can just go for a Superpower on the predicted Switch G, the Heat Train, or Tracheon. Swampert. Why? Why? Ugh. This makes me sad. Switch out, get some Regenerator action going on. Go into my Polytoad. Probably sack it when it brings his Celebi out. Or he'll Roar, which is great. Actually, this works out pretty well for me. Because this way, this happens. If he brings out his Celebi, yeah. Sack the Toad. Who needs it anymore, right? And this guy's team did very well at just disrupting my usual pattern and flow of what I like to do. I'm just gonna go for a Hurricane. No fancy predictions right now. I'm not in the mood for it. He does go out into his Terrakion, which, oof, that did much more than I thought it would. I'm feeling like Bandit is a thing. So, yes, it most likely was. How do I want to deal with the rest of his team? Oh, this thing is Scarf, so it's most likely just going to clean up. Let's just Hurricane, maybe... Did I hit? No? I didn't think so. I didn't really want a hard switch, because I didn't know what it was going to do, to be honest. Although, he's just going to clean up with Celebi, with the Psychic. That was a good game. Totally wasn't expecting that when I saw it, you know, Rotom and Swampert, but... This, obviously, was someone who knew what they were doing, so I'm not afraid to lose. And, yeah, much higher up on the ladder than me. 2,300? I mean, that was a great battle, on his part anyway. I did some good predictions, I couldn't follow through with them. We're gonna do one more battle. Because I'm just in the mood to... Oh, this is gonna be a good battle, I can tell. Let's just lead right off with, my... Nemaswine. As he leads off with his Shuckle. We all know not to do with Shuckle. This boy's a monster. He does Toxic. I predict a Protect. Predict a Protect. No, that's not a thing. I'm predicting Protects. I can't talk today, you guys. I am predicting a Protect coming along. So let's just go right on to my Toad and get some Scald action going on. There's no sand, so that should do a good amount. Sturdy is a thing, and again, I'm feeling another Protect coming on. Seems to be a reoccurring pattern. Although maybe he won't predict. I mean, maybe he won't do that. Maybe he'll simply go for another Toxic. If so, good on him. Although Rest is also a thing. Hydro Pump is a thing as well. We'll bring him down to a Sturdy. What I'm going to do from here is... Ooh. Sleep Talk. Okay. So it's an interesting set. Very prone to taunt, though. Looks like it's Sleep Talk, Protect, Rest, and Toxic. Not the best set I've ever seen, but interesting nonetheless. I'll bring out my Genesect. Volt turning is wonderful, and I love it. So that's exactly what's going to go down here. Because he brings out his Aerodactyl. If he's a man, he'll leave it in and let me Ice Beam it. And he is a man. This guy knows what he's doing. He'll bring in either his Gyarados or his slow... Snorlax, thank you. And I can just simply go out into Breloom. Hopefully he doesn't body slam and get paralyzed. As long as he doesn't do that, I should be golden. He goes for a rest, which I'm not quite sure why. I was locked into Ice Beam. Maybe he didn't realize I was, although Genesect is much slower than Aerodactyl base speed-wise. And I'll just go for a substitute. I don't really know what he's going to do. He probably has Sleep Talk. And yes, he does. He has Psychic, which... What? That's interesting. Let's just go for a Seed Bomb. Damage is damage, and... Wow, okay. Psychic. Ugh, I'm so confused. Ugh. Okay, well this time he's gonna get unlucky with his Sleep Talk. I'm just gonna go right for the unprotected Focus Punch. Because, I mean... Watch, obviously he's gonna mess up right now. And... Whap! Pow! Right in the kisser. Punch that right in his fat little... Ooh, excuse me. Right in his fat little stomach. Silly little bear thing. Now I can simply go for a Seed Bomb. And take him out. So what he's got left, is gonna definitely force Breloom out. Unless he brings in Gyarados, I might stay in and just kinda pitter-potter around. Although he does have the Intimidate, so getting out of there is definitely a good idea. You know, honestly, I just gotta get into Genesect and we can clean house, so looking like GG. It's a shame I don't get the special attack boost. Oh. Does Flamethrower throw you out? If it does, then I'm just gonna do that real quick. No it doesn't. He has a crit. God, that's super annoying. But I mean, hacks is hacks. What are you gonna do? It's a 10% chance it happens. We'll simply switch, Volt Switch out. Goes for an Earthquake. Obviously, this guy does not have an extensive knowledge on the world of Pokemon. Go off into Tornadus Therian form and spam a couple of Hurricanes. This Ninjask is not going to enjoy that. Stealth Rocks on the field. Actually, Hurricane isn't really necessary. Hidden Power Ice will do just the trick. Obviously, this guy is not a man and attacks first turn. Which, who does that nowadays, right? Drifloon is at full health, although 25%. Plus, whatever I hit with the Hurricane is definitely going to take it out. I imagine, anyway. So we'll see. 25%, 75%, exactly as I figured. I just realized this dude's name is Rabid Narwhal. What a creative name. Hopefully the rabies doesn't strike him. And he lives with 1, although he should realize that this is GG. Oh no. What'll I do? This Ninjask gets super powerful. You have to use the ultimate move. Super power! A GG. Super power! Come on, super power. Let me super power. Super power! Super power! And that's it. That is today's episode of Pokemon Live Narration. I do not want to forfeit. Like I said, 26 points, really? Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This was a fun couple of matches, especially that second one. And if you really enjoyed, you'll like, comment, and subscribe, although, of course, it's not a necessity. And I will see all of you wonderful people next time.